Hey guys, thank you everybody for joining. We got like 21 people on here already. That's pretty cool. And there there were a couple, or there are a couple of comments um, that I thought were kind of funny. I just want to make sure that I thank you too, both of you, Justin and Ling Ling. Thank you very much for your support, and thank you everybody else for your support now and over the years and everything else. Daniel, that was a funny comment. Good to see you, man. And Kevin, always good to see you. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that I'm going to keep this positive. And I want to also let you know that this is like 100% unscripted, right? So like I don't have an agenda. It's just something that I've been reflecting on for some time. And some comments that have happened, with other people on social media, specifically on Facebook, made me realize that I don't want to be a YouTuber influencer type of person. So that's why I quit. And I think if you guys have been following the channel for some time, you know that there was the time when I was making videos because I saw something show up on a video that I was watching because I was interested in whatever that topic was. And I'm like, hey, I know how to stop the flicker on the LED lights or the lights that are in the background. I should make a video about how to do that. Or I saw another video on, again, a topic that I might have been really interested in, and the creator, for whatever reason, didn't have the right wind protection on their microphone. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to make a video showing how it is that you solve wind issues with XYZ. And that was the YouTube content that I really enjoyed, and I really, frankly, started my channel because of. And I got caught up at some point in accepting brand deals and working on brand deals. And then you guys saw a period of time, it seemed like that's the only thing I was talking about. Just, hey, this deal or this product or that product, and on and on and on. And it felt to me like my channel got hijacked, but really the person that hijacked it was the person that accepted the contracts, and that would have been me, right? And then I kind of became super transparent with everyone, and I said, hey, by the way, this is not a review. And, I had a lot of content where I said this is not a review, just so that everybody knew that I was working with the brand to make that piece of content, because I felt like that was really important. So obviously I squashed that sometime last year, and I let every single brand know that basically I was burning the bridge. This is not who I am. This is not what I want to do. Do I work with brands? Yes, but I work with brands to make commercial content for them on their channel, not on my channel. Will I do that in the future? Unless something really super and spectacular happens where we all get to benefit from it, it's unlikely. If somebody wants to hire me, they can hire me to do a commercial, but they're not going to hire me to post content on my channel. And really, my channel, and just so that I clarify to the people that are saying, shit or get off the pot type of thing, me saying that I am no longer going to live that lifestyle of talking about this one piece of gear or that one piece of gear, comparing the gear as if one is better than another, is very different than me saying I'm going to shut the channel down. Because responsibly, I don't think that that's the right thing to do. When I see that my channel on average, reaches 40,000 new people every single month. So somewhere along the content that lives on my channel, someone is getting some benefit from it, and I feel like I should let them find it if they find it. You know, the majority of the people that end up on my channel, they don't subscribe anyway, right? So like, I'm talking 70% or more don't subscribe. Out of the people that do subscribe to my channel, I'm going to say less than 20% watch every single video that I upload or have uploaded, period. So really my content apparently is almost irrelevant to the people that have subscribed to the channel, which really means I don't know why you all subscribed, but thank you if you did. And the people that are finding my content, you know, those 40,000 or whatever every month, those are the ones that seem to be enjoying some of the stuff that was on my channel and has been on my channel, which is cool. So all that to say that what you guys can expect from me moving forward is I'm going to take YouTube's advice. YouTube sent me an email saying, hey, we think that if you follow these 5 or 6 things, 1, you will find new content strategies. 2, you will build your community. And 3, you'll grow your channel. And really, the 2 forms of content that YouTube is suggesting that I move towards or in a direction is shorts, which we all know YouTube's going to benefit from shorts because, you know, they're smaller. They're typically HD instead of 4K. So it reduces their cost, and they want to really compete against TikTok and anyone else that might be doing better on that type of platform. So I will be creating more shorts. They're going to be very informal, and hopefully they're going to make a point, right? There will be some value. Let's go in that direction. The second type of content that I will be making, and again, YouTube is suggesting, is to do more live content. So they're like asking me to double down on live content. And I thought I can certainly have content that's scripted and maybe even invite anyone who might be interested in discussing this topic or a topic and bring them on. I think that would be a good idea. And we can chat about anything, really, right? Like we could talk about what are we doing to grow our business. You know, the last couple of months, for me personally, I've had the opportunity to take some time off, work on my strategic plan. My strategic plan typically is not this is what I want to do in 12 months. It's typically, this is what I want to do in 3 to 5 years. And it's actually worked out really well. I rebuilt the company website. We are realigning to better support our clients in a lot of ways. And if I could give you a piece of advice, if you own a production business, I think it's going to be critical that you work on 3 things. One of them is your Google My Business listing, and that you post with some frequency on there, right? Like do updates on your company. I think that that's going to be critical to compete at a local or regional level. 2 is going to be to make sure that your website is as fast as possible. So on a desktop, Google wants websites to load in under 3 seconds, actually under 2 seconds. On a mobile device, Google wants the websites to load in under 3 seconds. And it takes a little bit of work and working with your developer or your hosting platform to make all that happen, but it's worth the effort. right? Because that will help you rank better in organic search. And then the third thing that I would give you all is to make sure that you are voice optimized. And what that means is that if someone's on an Android or on an iPhone and they're looking for you, your phone number, your hours, your business name, the services that you provide, that they can ask their assistant, right? Whether it's, like I said, Google or Apple or Alexa, if somebody's running searches, you know, from their Alexa assistant in their house or their living room or their office or whatever, that they find you. And I think if you do those three things strategically for 2023, your business is going to see a significant impact on the uptake. So that's kind of what I mean about, doing these lives and maybe tackling topics that we all might be facing. So like, for example, like when I shoot on Komodo and I want to trust the autofocus, a lot of times it works and it works really well. There are some situations where it doesn't, and it would be really awesome if we had 2 or 3 other people who maybe have been in different scenarios, whether it be indoors at a client, on a corporate shoot, or on a commercial shoot, or they put it on a drone, to see which situations it worked, which situations didn't work, what combination of lenses, like problem solving really in a think tank setting, and then allowing the rest of the community to either participate via chat or chime in with their own experiences, or maybe even join in as guests as part of this conversation so that we can all learn and level up together. I think that would be really cool. The days of me going back and forth about, this camera is better than that camera, this microphone is better than that microphone, and whatever, those days are gone. Which is now going to lead me into a little bit of housekeeping, because I think it's very important that everyone understands and knows a couple of things. I'm a firm believer that everyone and anyone should do what is best for them. You can take feedback from whomever it is that you trust. I think that's always a good idea, to get different perspectives and then formulate your own thoughts and then move in the direction that you know is going to be best for you, because no one is in those shoes. So with that said, I think it's also important that you all know that I don't have any beef specifically with Cam. Cam and I are adults. I'm rough around the edges. You all know that. Cam knows that. And he makes decisions just like I make decisions based on what's best for him. And for what I said when I did the live talking about I'm switching and whatever, it doesn't have to apply to everyone that makes a decision to go in one direction or another. And I think it's irresponsible for me to not say that out loud to all of you, because I watched back what I said, and it really sounded like I was basically taking everyone and putting everyone in the same category, in the same pot, and that's wrong. That's not true. And that's how I came across. So I want to make sure that I fix that to the best of my ability. And again, just remind everyone that None of us have a gun pointed at our head saying we got to go in one direction or another, right? Make the best decision that's for you. Just like I'm making the best decision that's for me with this channel by choosing not to work with brands, by choosing not to say you should buy this or check this out, this is the world's greatest XYZ. I don't want to ever do that again. I'm okay with presenting facts. Hey, this is what I was able to do with or in this situation. I'm okay with sharing that type of thing, but I'm not ever again okay with saying, because I did this, you all should do that too. And it really hit me probably 7 or 8 months ago, where I was talking to someone. We were talking about a project, and then he came back and said, hey, every time that you talk about a different camera, I end up buying it. And then he sent me a picture of all these cameras that were sitting on the shelf. And I was like, well, are they all putting in work? And he said, no. And then I thought, I can't do that to people. I don't want to do that to people. Because, like, the older I get, which, by the way, my birthday was about a week ago. So the older I get, the more I realize that as small business owners, as creators, as people who are trying to build and pay our own way and contribute to society and, all of that, the price of any one of these cameras, right? So let's say it's a Fujifilm GFX 100S. By the time you put a lens on it, you're over $6,000 invested. If you're never going to use the camera, it's better to invest those $6,000 and work towards putting some money away for your retirement, or putting some money away for a rainy day, or something that's, inevitably out of your control, than it is to have the money in the body, in the lens, that just sits on a shelf. That makes no sense. Because believe it or not, I remember when I turned 30, and I thought, I have no worries in the world. Also, there were a lot of things that had worked out for me really, really well by the time that I was 30. And I had like nothing to like hold me back, or also make me worry about anything having to do with finances, to the point where I thought I could retire at 30. Like it was that way. Fortunately I didn't. I probably would have, I don't know, blew all the cash. Maybe, I don't know. I would have made a lot of mistakes had I done that. But what I thought was in place when I was at 30, fortunately it's continued to grow, but so has inflation, right? So had I stopped growing, inflation might have kicked my butt. And now that I'm 51 now. I'm 51 years old. So at 30, I never thought that I would be thinking that far out, like after 50. Never, not even once thought about it. At 50 now, I'm thinking, oh shit, what happens if I live to be 80? Do you know what I mean? Like, do I have all of my stuff in order to make that successful? And that this is why I'm now saying, hey, I don't ever want to say I really love this camera and then have someone think that means they should go buy it and take away from their potential of, again, protecting themselves, protecting their family, protecting their business. Because we don't know how, I might die tomorrow, and that's cool. But if I do live to be 80, then all of the other decisions that I've made over the years are hopefully going to be enough to allow for the family to continue, for the business to continue, for me not to be totally broke when I'm 80, or needing to be, hauling gear up and down stairs to shoot a video. And I guess that's really my point, right? I just hope that you all, I guess, kind of understand where I'm coming from. And I realize that may mean that some people, may choose not to want to be a part of this community, this channel, and that's cool. Because there are plenty of other channels that will, fill in the gaps of talking about a specific piece of gear because it's new and they want to go over things like specs, or they have a brand deal or whatever. That's just not going to be this channel anymore. It hasn't been in a while now, but it definitely won't be moving forward. And if anything else, this channel is going to be more about creating real relationships with like-minded individuals, and then having conversations based on our work. And of course, we're going to sprinkle in our opinion with it. But it won't be about why one thing's better than another, unless it's better for me. You see the difference? So like, I need to work on a Mac. As awesome as Windows computers are, I need to be working on a Mac. So I'm never going to say that Windows computers are worse than a Mac. But I will always choose Mac, because if I had to switch over to Windows, I would have to switch more than 70 computers across the company, and then switch some pieces of software and adjust my workflow. And that just does not work in the things that we do today. It costs so much money. For example, we upgraded everybody's keyboards to the Touch ID keyboard on Mac. Well, that's 70 keyboards. That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather take all of that money and then give it out as a bonus at the end of the year to every single person. I think that they would appreciate that way more than the keyboard with Touch ID. So anyway, I'm rambling, but I hope you guys have a sense as to where I'm coming from. And then also, I hope that you guys understand that I respect other creators. And I also understand where I've made mistakes. And I am working on it. And I will always remind you and myself that there's nothing wrong with challenging a thought or challenging a process. But it's always wrong to attack the individual, because just like us, they have the same right to make their own decisions that suit and fit their workflow, their company, and everything else. So, okay, enough of the, I guess, the babbling. Let's take a look at some of these comments. And if there are comments or questions, I'm an open book. You all can ask anything you want. I will be very, very transparent. And yeah, let's see where we're at. So we saw Kevin. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that comment. Liam, hello. How are you? Ducky TV, this is the right move, Carlos. I think it's best to focus on your mental health. That's another thing. As my business has grown, as my company has grown, as more people are being employed by the company and so on, the how can I say this? Okay, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of backstory. This might be oversharing, so strap in or buckle up. Okay, my family background was two-sided. What the world sees and what actually is were two very different scenarios, to the point where I don't have a relationship with my parents, and I don't have a relationship with my parents' siblings, so my aunts and uncles, which also means I don't have a relationship with any of my cousins, because I don't agree with this duality of reality, and I'm not willing on putting myself in the situation. So when I started my company way back after the military, I was in the military for a while. Then I got out and I took a job. I lasted exactly 1 day at the job because I didn't believe in their ethics. So I decided I was going to just try it out on my own. And I ended up landing a contract that same week that worked out really well. And then I landed another contract. Then I needed more help and I started building my company. Okay. Fast forward to, I think it was 2001, and I sold my company, sold that initial company, which is basically when I turned 30, I believe. And in that entire building of that company, I was like super hyper focused on the company's success. I would work 12 to 16 hours a day at the company. I had a shower built into my office. I slept on a couch that I brought into my office because I was building this thing. And I'm saying all of this to you all so you understand that for a large chunk of my life, I was incredibly selfish because the only thing that I focused on was that one thing that I wanted or needed to do. Fast forward to now a company that has and employs 73 people. Obviously, it didn't happen overnight, right? Like the growth happened over time. And that growth also has happened over time as society and views have changed, and as I've started the maturity process of learning and understanding how to not be as selfish. And I think the best thing that ever happened to me was that I met my wife, Bert, because when I met her, it was the first time that I had taken an opportunity, just self-reflecting here, but it was truly the first time that I had placed another individual as a priority, with the exception of my grandmother. I can't go into that story because I can't. But Bert helped me understand people. Still helps me. And now that, again, the team has grown and I see people having children, something I didn't do, I value that. I understand that. I understand the need for work-life balance. I understand that we can work really hard, but we should be able to play really hard too. And all of those things are just way more rewarding because then people actually want to be at work doing their job when they know that they are understood. And I feel like that my crews, have helped me become a better person, just like Bert helped me become a better person. So yeah, mental health is very, very important. And I think making sure, so I'll tell you one thing that I do. For example, if I know that the busy season is coming or a busy chunk of time is coming, I always tell myself I can do anything for 6 weeks. But after those 6 weeks, I need to regroup and recharge. And I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about the team. Everybody needs to be able to take a breath. I need to be able to have dinner with Bert every night. Take her on a weekend vacation. Something. You get what I'm saying? And then I can go back and work really hard, but then there's always a reward of some sort that is happening at the back end of it. And that really does help. And I think, and I try to encourage everyone on my team to do the same thing, right? If they know that they've been working really hard before they crack, they need to literally just say, hey, I'm taking 4 days off, dude, and nobody's going to judge them. Because it's very important that, I'll put it to you this way. I'm to the point where I now very clearly, crystal clear, understand that the biggest investment for me as a business owner has been investing in people. It's never been gear. It's never been any of the fancy stuff that we get to play with as doing this thing that it's called work. It's always been people. And yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. Sorry, got sidetracked. Let's see. If you're the same, had 3 years of videos, posted mostly weekly, have not posted in over 6 months now. Good luck to you and your business. Thank you. I appreciate it. Are you and Armando still buddies? He's been so negative about everything, I stopped following him. So I said I would be very transparent, and Armando and I haven't spoken in a very long time. And I think the last time that I reached out basically to say happy birthday to him, he didn't respond. So are we buddies? Honestly, I don't think we ever were. And I think that we collaborated on some things. I think that we bounced ideas off of each other at some point. I think that he influenced some of my decisions because of the opportunity, but I'm not like Armando, right? So like I'm not making my living off of the money that I make off of YouTube. Never have. I don't have, I guess I have way more freedom than that. And then I also really love what it is that I do. And what I mean specifically by that, so that nobody takes, what I'm saying and goes in a different direction, is that my version of freedom is different than Armando's. So for example, I like the way that my daily schedule is different every single day. I like that sometimes my call time to be on set could be at 5 in the morning, or that I might need to be at location ready to shoot in the middle of the night. I like that stuff. Whereas, like for Armando, his freedom is he can work and do things on his schedule when he wants to. And I like the opposite. I like to know that, hey, somebody wanted to hire me, and then this is what it takes to get that shot. I'm going to do that. Or I'm going to grind it out for 6 weeks working on a episodic series, which means I need to basically clock in to work every single day. Like that, I'm cool with that. So, just different people are different. You should do the podcast thing that helps people go to sleep with your smooth voice. So there is going to be a podcast. If you guys follow me on social media, I posted a couple pictures. We built a podcast studio specifically, and that podcast studio is not for client work. It's for me. And I say me, but me, my company. And what we're doing is effectively we're going to be we launched already a channel that focuses specifically on marketing and advertising. Because when you know it, that's how I make a living. And the idea is to create content both for my website as well as to share information with clients in a way that might help them strategically get or take advantage of market conditions. So I need to obviously work on a refined elevator pitch for how I'm going to position this, but we've done this over the years already with a lot of our clients, where we do we'll do true actual content strategies, kind of like the strategic plan that I was talking about for my company, where we know where we want to be in 3 years, and then we set up the content, the distribution, the channels, and so on for people, which is one of the reasons why, we have a lot of video work that we do on a weekly basis, and we run with multiple crews because we're constantly producing, and what we produce today typically gets posted or makes it onto whichever platform 3 or 4 months down the line. Working that way really helps create financial security for the company, the organization, and then also allow us to grow because we know what our capacity is. Anyway, we can talk more about that later if you all want to. I'm about to take a great nap. Okay, Alex. Thank you. I guess. Let's see. Oh, and I have 2 tabs open, Carlos and Interstellar theme. I don't know what that means. Okay. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Driven Films, always good to see you. Okay, Driven Films did a breakdown of his rig, like how he rigged up his Komodo. And those grips, dude, obviously I bought them because after I saw yours. And those grips are probably the most comfortable grips I've ever used in my life. Really enjoy it. Thanks for that suggestion. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Scott. That's very nice of you to say. Frosty, always good to see you, man. I see my United Healthcare VP daughter in the next couple of weeks, and I'll put good word in for you. Honestly, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe they are starting employee training series soon on video, but I'll check it out. Yeah, I've been trying to get in on that project, but yes, that, and United Healthcare is not the only one that is doing this. I feel like every single company is moving in that direction. So that's an opportunity for all of you in your markets. And yeah, so like we did it with Bank of America out of Chicago, I think like 3 years ago. And that's kind of been, it's been good business. I'll just say that. I feel like participating in the acknowledgement of this, that the more time I spend on YouTube, the higher anyone's chances of spending money. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true. Sometimes, like, I try to make sure that whatever I'm going to buy is able to give me a 3.5 times return on investment within the first 90 days. And if the piece of gear meets that criteria, then there is no question, we buy it. YouTube is all about commerce. In the camera tech world, I would agree. Even if creating videos about minimalism is not buying things, then viewer will be assaulted. So that's true. And it's weird. It's almost like that's what YouTube became. And I'll go back and say, again, the reason when I started my channel, the reason why I was excited is because I saw something and I was like, hey, I know how to fix that. So maybe I'll make a video on how to fix that one thing. And honestly, that's where I want to go back. So, muy bien, ¿cómo está usted? Referring to friends and community we know are creative and hardworking. Yep. You did a good job, Carlos. Integrity cannot be bought. I agree 100%, Frosty. Thank you for that comment. Carlos is really an inspiring person, and to be honest, I wish I would be half calm and focused as he is. He's doing the right thing, in my opinion. So thank you for that comment. I, of course, appreciate it. Big, hey, have a like new R5C with Mamba cage and Tilted Smart beam mount for sale. You know what? I'll say this about my R5C. I refuse to rig it. Like, I don't want to rig it ever again in my life. And that means I just carry a lot of batteries when I actually use it. So I don't know why, but it just kind of gets under my skin to rig it. Justin, yeah, for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't notify anyone anymore. Not sure how that works, but thanks for stopping by, though. And if there's any interest, I guess I'll leave this up for a replay later. Carlos, I don't consider you as an influencer, but as a talented professional. Thank you, Tarek. I appreciate it. Awesome comment. Thanks. I'm starting at the beginning. Thank you, Scotty. Scotty is a rock star. Scotty helped me test my C-Log 3 LUTs, and his stuff looks gorgeous. Y'all should check it out. Let's see. You do fantastic work, Carlos. Thank you. She's very well-rounded, smart, and emotionally intelligent person. Whatever decision you make for yourself will be an excellent learning opportunity. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. From the beginning, it seems your heart is in the right place. Thanks, Scotty. I respect your decision, man. YouTube is not a good place. You mean greater things, less toxicity. So I don't know that I agree with that. I think YouTube is a good place for a lot of things, right? I feel like we just have to remember to understand that what we are consuming is somebody's perspective. And once you consume multiple perspectives and then understand your situation, hopefully that gives you enough understanding on how to make the best decision for yourself. Because just because I like to shoot multicam on Komodo doesn't mean everybody should. Does it take a lot of work? Yes. Is it very expensive? Yes. Can you do it way cheaper with cameras that have proven autofocus? Yes. And why do I still use Komodo? Right? That's kind of what I'm saying. Investing in and growing with people is excellent advice. Absolutely. The best investment by far has been people. It's never, ever been anything other than that. I'm a 20%er. Thank you, Scotty. And yes, you are one of the people that watches all my videos, so I appreciate that. Multi-language is a big deal in training. Yeah, and it's also very difficult to source. And I feel like, well, that's a topic all of its own. But multi-language, as you said, is very important. And I feel like that's going to create even more opportunities because they will not dub audio, right? Because if all of a sudden you see me talking on a training video and I'm speaking in German, can you relate? Or I'm speaking Mandarin, there's a disconnect, right? So dubbing for training will be with talent that can speak that second language and then actually participate. And I think that also creates kick-ass opportunities for people like you and I that are in this business. What'd you miss? Nothing, Scott. Just a little bit of self-reflection and just kind of where I'm going here moving forward. But nothing, no fireworks. Let's just say that. So Big is happy. I'm wondering, did you sell your camera? Did somebody reach out? I don't want to see you go. I didn't get to hear the reason since I came in late. So Scott, I'm not leaving the platform. I'm just realigning. And in summary, I'm basically saying you won't hear me talk about brand deals in the future. And you won't ever hear me say that this is better than that thing. But rather, I would rather cooperate with someone like you, Scott, for example, where we can talk about situations when using that one piece of gear really worked out, and then maybe how to avoid pitfalls or potential things that you and I might have done to prep so that we can then pass on knowledge to the community. So it's realigning really, rather than trying to get people to use my affiliate links and sell products. Those days are gone. But really don't want to see you go. We value your opinions. Thank you, Big. Great job, Carlos. I have to run. You inspire me. Thank you, Frosty. And if I'm in Minneapolis next week, I might reach out to you and see if you want to grab a cup of coffee or something. It's not a permanent decision to leave YouTube. I got to watch the replay. Yeah, you'll have to, because I got kind of long-winded about it, but it isn't about leaving YouTube. It's about realigning everything that I do on the platform to make sure that we challenge a thought or a perspective and never a person, and definitely never pin gear up against each other or push products. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Glad to hear you aren't leaving. Focus on what makes you happy. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, that's really it, right? Like, I'm not interested in hurting anyone. And Scott, you might have missed this earlier, but I gave the example of, you know, when I started posting that I really love my Fujifilm GFX 100S, then a buddy down in Florida went out and bought one, and he didn't tell me about it right away. But 6 or 7 months have passed. We're having a conversation, and he's like, every time you talk about a camera, I end up buying it, and I'm like, well, are you making money with it? And he said, no. And I said, when was the last time that you got paid work off of that camera? And basically it hadn't. It'd been sitting on the shelf. And I felt responsible because taking that $6,000 or $7,000 and investing it, whether it be back in his business, a financial investment of some sort into his future or his house, or using it to pay off, his vehicle, anything, would have been a better use of that money rather than having a camera sitting on a shelf. And that's why I don't want to ever do that again, ever. Yeah, dude, I'm game. You tell me when and what the topic is, and I'll prepare. Carlos, you were the voice of reason and integrity in the space. Thanks, Babar. No matter what you say, it's going to be honest, and in this space, that goes a very long way. Integrity. Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate it. I'm a Carlos fan. Uphill. I'm a Levi. I'm your fan. So, yeah. Well, that's really all I got. There are no more questions, no more comments. I think we're in good shape. And at least you guys know that moving forward, you can expect shorts, lives, and really a dialogue on how to overcome a challenge maybe, or a situation, or how to prep for a situation. That might be a better way to say it, so that we can all learn from each other and help each other grow. Yeah, I know the feeling. I try very hard to explain to people that they need to make their own decisions. Yeah, and that's kind of tough. And yeah, this guy that I mentioned, he could have totally done something way better with that money. I will, once the podcast is up and running, I will be sure to link it on the bottom of all of my videos in the description, so that for those of you that want to try it or sample it, you guys can. So cool. Well, it's almost 11 a.m. here, which really means I'm going to go home to my sweetheart. We're going to go out, have some brunch, maybe a mimosa or two, and enjoy some family time, because I think that that's important. Thank you, Sky Blue Pictures. I appreciate it. Thank you, Eric, and thank all of you for being part of this community, putting up with me, listening to me, and wanting to be contributors, because just like maybe some of you have learned from me, I've learned from all of you a lot. You've always been a straight shooter and thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, catch up with you guys on the next one. Take care.